For me, advocating for the arts is an essential part of being an artist. I think it's sort of ingrained in us as performers to make sure we're heard and we're known and we're seen. And I like participating in AFTA events because they help us to know when the exact right time is to show up on Capitol Hill and make sure our elected officials understand the needs happening back in their district in Delaware. And so I'm happy to sort of bring the perspectives of the arts community in Delaware here to DC. We have a host of issues we're talking to all three members of our Delaware federal delegation about today. They range everywhere from NEA and NEH funding, which we know benefit our arts community, particularly our nonprofits, all the way to arts education legislation to provide funding and supports for teachers and classrooms teachers and students in the classroom. So that includes arts education, supporting teachers and students in the classroom. And then lastly, a handful of bills that are providing for our artists and small creative businesses, things like the CREATE Act, or helping provide workforce development supports for artists who are themselves a small business and need the sort of tools that government can help provide, whether that be grants or professional development. So we're really running the gamut of arts education through arts nonprofits to for-profit artists and really finding ways to support all of them. The Delaware Arts Alliance proudly is a membership organization. We have over 40 organizations up and down the state who they have said, we care about the arts, we want to be involved in arts advocacy, and they've signed up to be an Arts Alliance member. And we also have hundreds of advocates across the state who participate in our advocacy efforts. This last fall, we actually did 25 focus groups to hear from nearly 300 artists, creative business owners, patrons of the arts, asking them, what are your needs? What are your perspectives on the arts in Delaware? How is Delaware's creative economy going and how can we improve upon it? And that's the sort of perspective I'm able to bring here to talk to Senator Coons, Senator Carper, and Representative Blunt Rochester. My advice for arts advocates is really to show up. I mean, if we're not here at the table, whether that be in DC or in our state capital of Dover or in our county and city council meetings, we won't be considered. And it's incumbent upon us to help our elected officials realize that, the arts are the economy, the arts are health, we are education, we are tourism, we are a strong aspect of all of the things that we know our elected officials care about. And so, with a little training, whether it's from the Arts Alliance or from AFTA, anybody can be an advocate and understand how to tell their personal story in a way that's going to connect with our elected officials. Largely, my job leading the Delaware Arts Alliance is to focus on our state issues most of my day. And so it's really helpful to have this partnership with Americans for the Arts where I know they're watching what's happening in DC and keeping track of the progress, sometimes the convoluted process that can be federal legislation. And they let me know, Neil, now is an important time to have Delaware advocates speak up, whether that be about NEA or NEH funding, whether it's arts education funding, whether it's support for small businesses. And if it weren't for AFTA, it would maybe lose track of some of those things. I came into the world of arts advocacy both through a government relations lens and as a performer. I've been a singer, a theater performer my whole life, and my educational background was studying public policy. And so when I found the Delaware Arts Alliance and learned, oh, you can do public policy work in the arts, it was just sort of a marriage of two great passions of mine, and certainly have benefited from groups like AFTA, from Delaware organizations up and down the state who've helped me understand just how important it is to show up and be an advocate for the arts. So I'll be here for a while. It's my second visit. I hope it's the second of many to bring the perspectives of our Delaware artists and art organizations in the state here to DC.